respect, trust, teamwork, hard work. And so I've sort of changing the approach a little bit with high performance coaches to work the other way. And we seem to lose sight that the individual person, that motivation, that drive will come from within. But work ethic's important at anything. Respect is so important. Respecting your teammates. Those are key things in the mission statement. So I'm looking forward to doing it with the coaches site and curious about the audience and what kind of an approach to take because Mike, are these people in the audience they're able to handle this because they're like-minded already? So it's not a problem for them, or are they mentoring like yourself, trying to work with people in associations?
Yeah. So the audience that we're seeing so far that have pre-registered already, like, so we sent out an email to any member of the coaches site and they could pre-register for it. And when they register, they get your, um, the one handout, and we'll review that today on what they get. So they'll get a handout prior to even coming on to the show. And then it seems to be, and the feedback that I've gotten is going to be, a lot of people like me that don't that let think they know what a mission statement is and want to have a mission statement, but just don't even know really what that entails and where to start. So I think this is going to be a great jump start for a lot of, um, fortunately or unfortunately, I think a lot of the people that will come on this call and if you're a member of the coaches site, you're probably already somewhat of a progressive coach and somebody that wants to learn and somebody that wants to develop. So um, it's a little bit of preaching to the choir, but I can almost guarantee you that most people that will be on this call will have never gone through this process of really evaluating how they're going to build a mission statement and then what does it really mean? And then how do you implement it? So I think today we'll hopefully flush out any of the flow of it. But basically, it's I think this is a great opportunity for what you do here on the Sharks and what you've done for a lot of people on this call and mentoring them and using these concepts and understanding the values of a written, thought out mission statement. This will just help. If it's a little, even if it comes out to be just a coach connecting with their parents and coming up with some common goals, I think that will be a home run.
Listen, Tim has left the call, but something communication with players, Mike. I had thought of Power Play and that app that allows for communication with players and coaches, and it's privy only to the coach, the parents, the head coach, and the players. But I feel that that has tremendous potential in building trust and relationships and respect for those three parties. Now, I don't know how familiar you are with Power Play, Michael, but I've done the mission statement with them, and it's a group out of Vancouver, I think, that do it. And the app is on your phone, and it's on the phone of the players and the parents, and it's something like $29 a player, and that's a little bit of an investment. But what it does is the coach in the app, and Mike, if you're not familiar with it, I think it's something that you should have a look at and find out a bit more about because the idea of communication with the coach and the parent and the player and the values side of what you're doing and the ability to measure improvement. And it really is something that complements the mission statement exercise. It's a tool. Everybody's into technology, and the phone is the instrument that gives you the opportunity to provide immediate, feedback sooner than later, and to share it and two-way communicate with people on it. So, have you found out anything about that group, Michael? Have you had anything to do with them at all?
Yeah, I work with them exclusively. They're actually sponsoring your presentation, so we're in good hands.
That's good. All right.
They're footing the bill. So I think it's a great, like I said, it's a great program. I've been using them for 4 years now. I use them for lacrosse and hockey, and it's really been a great, for somebody like me who has young kids in school. There's a program called Class Dojo that the teachers use down here in the U.S. That's almost like a constant contact of. I mean, I think they use it too much. I think it's like, oh, your son stood in line very well today at recess. I'm like, are you sitting there with this iPad and telling me every moment that the kid's doing the right thing? But I'm not a fan of that. But what Power Player does allow you to do does open up that line of communication. And I use it because I can sit at home and doing other work, and I can pull up my roster, and I can, I can send out a comment or two to each player at least once a week, and they can track that and kind of see, where what my feeling is of them in that time frame of the season. And then I can always refer back to it with the kid, with the player and the parent, and say, well, these are kind of some trends that we're seeing. And have you noticed that I've commented how, your son, seems to be late for practice every week, and they're not engaged, and they're disrupting the group. Like, as you see those patterns, it just helps you have the conversations back and forth. And I think what's nice about it, you can almost get a little bit of, keyboard, muscle, where you don't mind saying something that might be a little rough, because you're not going to have that instant confrontation. And I don't know. I like that piece of it. There are other pieces that open up a can of worms, because sometimes in these apps you start grading kids, and once kids start comparing each other to each other, and parents start comparing, like, well, what did you tell Johnny's parents? And that's what's nice about the app, is only the coach and the parents see the comment, not the whole team doesn't see your comment. And that's, but there is a feature where you could send a whole message out to the whole team, like, hey, we really had a great day yesterday. Keep up the good work. I appreciate your effort, blah, blah, blah. Just keeps that constant flow of communication with the parent and the player.
And you've shared on that video of drills or game clips.
So I use it for everything. I send out my weekly, like, daily video game clips. If I know Greg's on the call, I send out a lot of his stuff. I copy and paste it and send it out, and I always give him credit. But anybody, any clips I can find, again, I'm in an industry, right? I'm in a position where I'm just inundated with all of this information. It's almost a fire hose of getting to be around really great coaches and great mentors and great leaders. And, most of the parents I work with and their players they don't have time to do what I do. They're working, they have real jobs. So it gives me the opportunity to share a lot of the stuff that I'm seeing and the trends and what the experts are saying. And then it helps me share that with them to, selfishly continue to help reiterate my message, because I'm connecting with the best people in the game.
Okay, thanks very much. And
so I'm going to jump off too, Wally, but I'm just ping me on Skype again when you're available.
okay,
I think at 11 a.m. your time.